Hi, this is Jessie. I know you can't see me, but my phone doesn't do any fun tricks like flipping backward and forward. So what I wanted to do was a quick little demonstration for anyone who missed the meeting yesterday on laminating. I actually left the laminator in the box because for me, actually removing it from the box was as anxiety provoking as all the rest of the project. So I'm going to take it out of the box while you're watching, and that way you can see the process so that it's not overwhelming when you have to do it. I have a Scotch Thermal Laminator. This one was from Walmart. It was like 18 something when I got it, but you can also get them on Amazon. As you can see, this one came with 25 free pouches and they're assorted sizes. I purchased this replacement pack and they're all this full size sheet size. So you can, this one would have like a little, almost like a wallet size in it and stuff. And you can get replacements of any size like that. But let me not prolong it. 1 second, we'll get to unboxing. All right, so you have your box here. It's pretty simple. Yours would be wrapped in plastic, so you'd have to take the plastic off. But everything else would be just about the same. So you would take these off, and you would take off the plastic, and then all you have to do is set it up. So on the back here, there's a panel that would come out like this. So if you see how I did that, it just pops out 2 different pops like that. And then the cord is under here. So you just unwrap the cord and you're already ready to go. All we're gonna have to do is plug it in and warm it up. The warming up process takes a little while, so plan ahead when you're ready to do your project because it takes a couple of minutes for the device to be ready to go. And what you're looking for, these are their control buttons. Really, really simple. You just press that button and it's going to start making like a little whirring sound. And you're going to be waiting until this ready button is blue. And that's when you're going to know it's go time. Okay, this blue light's what we were looking for. So we're ready to start laminating. What I did was I pulled a sheet out, and it's a little hard to see it here, but this is one of the sheets that I have. What you'll notice is, it's difficult to see. Do you see this little edge here where it goes from cloudy to clear? That's how you're going to know the sealed end. The other end is all cloudy. So there's no clear end. So that's how you're going to know where to open the sheet. You're going to open the sheet where there's no clear end because that's the open side. And you just peel it apart like this and you get ready to place your papers. Now over here I have some papers that I could use for Jonathan. I actually got these from Due to Learn, which we discussed last night at the meeting. This is the website, doetolearn.com, and they had a ton of stuff like this, resources of all different subjects. So super duper, 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 duper handy. So all you're going to do is slide your sheet right into the edge there, and then carefully fold this over to avoid any bubbles. So that's that. To keep in mind, you'd never want your items too close to the edge because it needs to seal, and if there's something in the way, then the seal will probably not stick. I have another thing to show you after this where it's important if you're doing individual or smaller items, but you can put this all the way up to here. You would still be able to trim this to a slight degree after it's done laminating, but you'll see that in a moment. So when you're looking at the machine like this, it's going to enter from this side. Always put in the sealed end first. So here we're putting it in. There's that, it's really hard to see, but there's that little line there that shows that this is the sealed end. That's always the side to feed in first. And you just leave it right in there. And let it feed itself through. It's nice and slow. It's going to come out warm. And it's going to be that nice laminated feeling that you want with your cards. Sometimes I bring it to the edge just so that you can have it come out perfectly straight, not curl while it's warm. Now once these are completely laminated, you could of course leave them as a whole sheet, or you can cut the individual cubes, however you've done it. that you want to have it saved. Okay, so here's our laminated sheet. Knife makes that great sound, shiny, stiff. I'm going to show you how to cut the cards apart. Okay, scissors here. Okay, so you have your card here, and just like you would with anything else, you just cut right along. Now, as long as you are not cutting where the sealing action has taken place, which would be at the edge of whatever you've just laminated. As long as you are cutting the center part here, you're not going to have any trouble with this coming apart. I mean, with a lot of use over a long time, sure, it's eventually going to come apart, but initially, this you won't have any trouble. That'll be sealed nice and tight. The issue is you want to make sure that you are not cutting where it seals. Do you see that little bubble right along the edge? Never cut that bubble area, because if you do, then the document will start to come apart and the lamination will break and you'll be frustrated and have to redo it. So that's the key there. All right, the other one that I wanted to be able to show you is when you have individual pictures or maybe like comics that you want to save. I had said fortune cookie slips that meant something to you. If you have individual things that you want to put in, you can do that as well. And you can fit as many as you like. Just make sure you leave a generous margin at the edge to allow for that little bubble to take place and seal and have the extra space that you're going to need if you need to trim it up. Actually, I can scooch this over because there's so much space there. I have 4 items that I want to do today. So I'm going to have quite a bit that I'm going to be wasting here. You can maximize your space by, you know, just fitting the stuff in as snug as you possibly can. I've used up every bit of real estate when I've used these before, but for demonstration purposes, I've just used 4. And I left this margin along the edge here to make sure there's plenty of space for it to seal and create that bubble. And also in the center, because you're going to have anywhere that there is an edge, you are going to have a bubble that you want to be able to cut around without trimming the bubble itself. And then just gently fold that over. Same thing, you're going to put the sealed end in first. I'm going to need 2 hands for this because when you have loose slips inside like this, they might wiggle during the process, and you do not want that after you've carefully set it up just the way you wanted it. So you're going to want to kind of keep your hand on it while it's going through. Okay, so I have my sheets. I'm going to stick it right here in the machine, sealed end first. And I'm going to just keep my fingers on it this time, just to make sure that all my little pieces stay where I want them while it's going through the machine, because they, you know, the gravity might wiggle them through and then they're not where you want them, and that can be a real disappointment. And it just slides right through the machine, easy does it. Once it starts to go through, I can let go, but if you have a bunch of little slips, you definitely want to keep your fingers just pinching on the stuff just to make sure that it doesn't become a problem for you. And that's pretty much all she wrote. Yesterday when I did it, I was singing songs, so I'm sorry not to make this one nearly as entertaining. I just wanted to make sure that you had an opportunity to see how it works so that it's less overwhelming in the long run when you're ready to have a laminating good time by yourself. Be sure to let me know if you have any questions.